Question number 181. In your role as a BI developer, you are enhancing the accessibility of Power BI report that includes a visual card displaying current fiscal year revenue totals. It's essential that users who rely on screen readers can access and understand this data as soon as they interact with the card, and the information need to remain accurate following any updates to the dataset. How can you best configure the report to meet these accessibility and accuracy requirements? Option A. Transform the card visual into a simple text box. Option B. Integrate the revenue data into the title of the card. Option C. Set a fixed description in the alternative text field of the card. Option D. Utilize conditional formatting in conjunction with a tax measure to dynamically update the alt text. The correct answer is option D. Utilize conditional formatting in conjunction with a DAX measure to dynamically update the alt text. To ensure accessibility for screen reader users while keeping the information accurate as the dataset updates, you should use conditional formatting with a DAX measure to dynamically populate the card's alternative text. This approach allows the alt text to reflect the current fiscal year revenue automatically. The fixed alt text or embedding values in the title won't update dynamically, and converting the card to a text box may not provide the same data interactivity or semantic accessibility. Question number 182. Imagine you are a data analyst learning about DAX measures in Power BI. You're exploring the concept of implicit and explicit measures and want to understand the distinction between them. You are particularly interested in identifying a characteristic that sets implicit measures apart from explicit measures. Question: which of the following statements accurately describe a unique characteristic of implicit measures in Power BI that is not present in explicit measures? Option A. Implicit measures are defined using DAX formulas, while explicit measures are created automatically by Power BI. Option B. Implicit measures are calculated in real time when a report is viewed, while explicit measures are pre-calculated and stored in the data model. Option C. Implicit measures can be used in any visual in a report, while explicit measures are tied to specific visuals. Option D. Implicit measures are automatically generated by Power BI when you drag a field into a visual, while explicit measures are manually defined using DAX. The correct answer is option D. Implicit measures are automatically generated by Power BI when you drag a field into a visual, while explicit measures are manually defined using DAX. Implicit measures are created on the fly by Power BI for simple aggregations like sum, average, or count when you drag a numeric field into a visual. Explicit measures, in contrast, are manually created by the user using DAX formulas and can be reused across multiple visuals. Question number 183. You are developing a Power BI report for a retail management system and are working to integrate the data effectively. Your data model includes a product catalog table, which holds individual product details, and a sales data table, which records daily sales figure for numerous products sold across various stores. To analyze the revenue generated by each product, you need to create a relationship between these tables. To ensure efficient report rendering and optimal performance, particularly when adjusting filters and slicing data, which cardinality should establish for the relationship between the product catalog and sales data tables? Option A, 1 to 1. Option B, many to many. Option C, many to 1. Option D, 1 to many. The correct answer is option D, 1 to many. Each product in the product catalog table can appear in many records in the sales data table, but each sales record corresponds to only one product. Therefore, a one-to-many relationship from product catalog 1 to sales data many ensures efficient filtering, accurate aggregation, and optimal performance in your Power BI report. Question number 184. Imagine you are a data analyst working for a healthcare organization. You have created a Power BI report that contains sensitive patient data, including medical history and treatment information. You need to ensure that only authorized personnel, such as doctors and nurses, can access the data relevant to their patient. You decide to implement row-level security (RLS) to restrict data access based on user roles. Challenge: what are the steps involved in setting up RLS for this Power BI report to ensure that doctors and nurses can only see data for the assigned patient? Arrange the following action in the correct order to implement RLS effectively. A. Publish the report to the Power BI service. B. Define roles, example doctor, nurse, and their corresponding DAX filter expressions in Power BI desktop. C. Assign users, doctors and nurses to the appropriate roles within the Power BI service. D. Test the role configurations using the View As option in Power BI Desktop to ensure that the RLS roles are working as expected. Option A, B, D, A, C. Option B, A, D, C, B. Option C, D, A, C, B. Option D, B, A, C, D. Correct answer is option A, B, D, A, C. First, you define roles and DAX filter expressions in Power BI Desktop, B. Next, you test these roles using the View As feature to ensure they work correctly, D. Then, you publish the report to the Power BI service, A. Finally, you assign the appropriate users to the roles within the service, C, to enforce row-level security. Question number 185. Imagine you are a BI manager leading a team of developers who create and maintain numerous Power BI reports for your organization. You want to establish a structured and controlled process for developing, testing, and deploying these reports to ensure quality, consistency, and efficient collaboration. You have decided to implement deployment pipelines in Power BI service to achieve this. Question: which of the following action is essential for effectively configuring a deployment pipeline in Power BI service to manage the development lifecycle of your Power BI reports? Option A: create separate workspaces for development, testing, and production. Option B: enable the publish to web feature for all reports in the pipeline. Option C: assign all team members the administrator role in the development workspace. Option D: configure role-level security (RLS) for all dataset in the pipeline. The correct answer is option A: create separate workspaces for development, testing, and production. Deployment pipelines in Power BI rely on having distinct workspaces for development, test, and production stages. This structure allows you to move reports and datasets systematically through the lifecycle, ensuring changes are tested before production deployment. Other actions like enabling publish to web or assigning admin roles are not essential for configuring a pipeline. Just a quick reminder, if you don't have time to watch these videos and instead download all questions and answers, feel free to purchase them on Buy Me a Coffee page. I have shared the link below. Question number 186. As you refine a data model for implementation in Power BI, you aim to maintain clarity and avoid any potential misinterpretation of the model structure. Which types of relationships should you approach with caution to prevent introducing uncertainty into your data model? Option A: bidirectional cross-filter. Option B: single directional filtering. Option C: hierarchical nesting. Option D: many to many. The correct answers are option A: bidirectional cross-filter. Option D: many to many. Bidirectional cross-filter relationship can cause ambiguity in how filters flow between tables, leading to unexpected results in measures and visuals. Many-to-many relationship can create uncertainty because multiple matching rows on both sides may produce duplicate or confusing aggregations. Both types require careful design and testing to ensure that data model remains clear, accurate, and predictable in Power BI. Question number 187. In your role as a Power BI developer, you were tasked with creating a Power BI report that leverages data from an Azure SQL database named sales_db. The data structure includes several tables which you have imported as follows. Inventory contains the complete product catalog. Transaction summary contains high-level details about each transaction. Transaction details contains detailed line items for each transaction, including product ID, quantity, and price. Your analysis goals are: visualize transaction volume over time, including total transaction value. Break down transactions by product attributes. The solution must optimize the refresh and interaction speeds of visuals within the report. What is your initial action? Option A. Use Power Query to merge the transaction details query with the inventory query. Option B. Create a calculated column in the transaction summary table to append product categories using a DAX function. Option C. Implement a DAX function to compute the count of transactions per product. Option D. Use Power Query to merge the transaction summary and transaction details queries. Correct answer is option D. Use Power Query to merge the transaction summary and transaction details queries. Merging tables in Power Query creates a single enriched table before it's loaded into the data model, reducing the need for complex DAX calculations and improving refresh and interaction performance. This approach ensures that product attributes are directly available for analysis alongside transaction details, optimizing report responsiveness. Question number 188. You publish a dataset to the Power BI service that connects to an on-premises Oracle database. When you try to set up a scheduled refresh, you notice that the required on-premises data gateway is not available for selection. You have verified the following details with the gateway administrator. You have been granted the necessary permissions to use the gateway. The data source has been created with the gateway. The gateway status is running and operational. Question: what is the most likely reason why the gateway is not available? Option A. The data source type is not compatible with the on-premises data gateway. Option B. The server name in the dataset file doesn't match the server name configured in the gateway. Option C. The data source is configured to use Windows authentication only. Option D. The data source uses outdated encryption protocols. The correct answer is option B. The server name in the dataset file doesn't match the server name configured in the gateway. Power BI matches dataset to gateway data source based on the exact server and database names. Even minor differences, like using an alias or differing case, can prevent the gateway from appearing as available. Ensuring the dataset's connection string exactly matches the gateway configuration resolves this issue. Question number 189. You are managing data sources for a series of analytical reports in Power BI and have an Excel file stored in a Microsoft OneDrive folder. This file contains key data that needs to be regularly updated and reflected in your Power BI report. To ensure ongoing refresh capabilities within Power BI service, you must choose the appropriate connectors for accessing and refreshing the data directly from its current location. Which two of the following connectors would allow you to successfully link to and ensure refreshability of the Excel file from OneDrive in PowerBI.com. Option A, Excel Online Workbook. Option B, text or CSV. Option C, OneDrive folder. Option D, SharePoint Online folder. The correct answers are Option A, Excel Online Workbook. Option D, SharePoint Online folder. The Excel Online Workbook connector allows direct connection to an Excel file stored in OneDrive for Business, enabling automatic refresh in Power BI service. Similarly, the SharePoint Online folder connector can access files stored in OneDrive, since OneDrive for Business is backed by SharePoint, also supporting scheduled refresh. Other options like text or CSV, OneDrive folder, or web do not fully support automatic refresh from OneDrive. Question number 190. Imagine you are a data analyst working for a telecommunication company. You are analyzing customer data to understand usage patterns and preferences for different mobile phone plans. Your dataset includes a column called monthly usage that records the number of minutes each customer uses per month. You want to segment customers into different usage groups, low, medium, high, to tailor marketing campaigns and plan service offerings. Question: which Power Query feature can you use to categorize customers into the following usage groups based on their monthly usage? Low usage, 0 to 100 minutes. Medium usage, 101 to 500 minutes. High usage, 501 plus minutes. Option A, create a new table with the usage group definition and establish a relationship with the customer data table. Option B, use the conditional column feature and create a set of if statement to categorize each event. Option C, use the enter data feature and manually write each customer with the correct monthly usage categorization. The correct answer is option B. Use the conditional column feature and create a set of if statement to categorize each event. The conditional column feature in Power Query allows you to define rules based on existing column values, such as monthly usage, to create a new categorical columns like low, medium, and high usage. This method is efficient, dynamic, and automatically applies to all rows in the dataset, unlike manually entering data or creating separate tables.